this video I'm going to teach you how to play Chopin's Etude Opus 10 number 2 in A minor. The first thing that I think we should know is the A minor scale. A minor starts like this. So over this scale, what he's adding is a chromatic scale. So if you take A to A, we'll have this. Now, instead of putting the fingers on the typical way that we work on, 1, 3, 1, 2, like this, what he did is put it on the fingers that are the weakest to the hand. So he's playing 4, 3, 4, 5, and that already makes the hand in an awkward position because it's always looking this way rather than looking straight, which it might create a little bit of tension. And then that the melody is basically the chromatic scale, and it goes like this. That's the scale. And then what he does is put chords to it and a bass, so it gives a more playful feeling to it. So what I'm going to do now is give you the fingerings that I use for this. I do not use the fingers that Chopin wrote, even though I know the fingers he wrote, because I think they are sometimes too risky while playing a recital. So I have my own fingerings, and that's what I use. Sometimes we don't have a lot of time. Sometimes we have 15 minutes and we have to practice this piece and go ahead and play it. So that's why I prefer to be secure at the recital rather than doing a fingering. That doesn't work for me. So what I do when we have this chord, instead of doing this, I already take that C with the left hand. And that allows me to be more relaxed already here, rather than doing this each time. So I change that to the left hand first. And then I'm going to keep playing, and once I know I changed some fingers, I'm going to tell you what fingers I put there. So I go this way. Here, the A, I take it C, E, A, first finger. Then I go back to the bass. Here I take the finger, the E with the left hand, E with the left hand again, and D sharp. And then I take this with the left hand. And notice the last one I do this finger. I don't do that. Okay, I know he wrote those, but it's much easier like that. This fingering comes from experience. I practiced this piece for a long time, and then I decided, well, it's a lot of work to do with the right fingering, so I tried to do what works best for me. So the first thing I say is get those fingers right. If you already try with the other fingers and it still doesn't work, don't hesitate and change it, you know. Let's keep going now, and the way I practice will be emphasizing, is trying to play already the song, but emphasizing every other note. So if I start here, I emphasize the first one and the second one light. So I will do this: loud, light. that makes it so you can really force some of the fingers sometimes and rest the other ones. That way you don't get tired, and each finger, when you play loud, is getting a little bit more pressure, so you will start getting more strength and being more accurate by doing those accents. The other thing is trying to do an accent on the opposite note, so that means the second one. So we'll play light. Okay, and then what we'll do is kind of what it's going to be at the end, which is emphasize every 4 notes. It's true that it's important when you get the chords, each one of those, your hands should go down, down, and then 4 notes, you're gonna do extension of that. They come by itself. Down, up, down, up. Okay, and so we'll do an accent every 4 notes. So down, up, down, each time. Down, down, down here, accent and down on the 4th note. Accent. That centers the hand in the movement that you're gonna have to do when you play it together. Down, up. Each time you try to relax on the chord. Okay, the next step is trying to work on the speed. So what we try to do is try to practice slow and fast. So we'll do 1 note slow and the next one fast. If you can't do it that fast, you could rest on the first one, look at the next 2 notes, do it quickly. Look at the next 2 notes. The important thing is you go from A, let's say, very fast to B, very fast to C sharp. Okay, the next rhythm is gonna be the opposite. So we're gonna start fast from A. Instead of doing this, we're gonna do. It's important that the chord, you hit the chord and you almost think short, because that's what's gonna give you the energy to go to the other note. So, see? So down, up. So after we did the 2 notes, fast and slow, then we try to group them up, and we do maybe 4 notes quickly or 3. So let's say in this case we'll match the beat. So we could take A and we go to the next chord. That's already working the speed maybe that we're going to play eventually when we have the whole song. So could start on a different note, as if you do. Change the note that you start. So because you have 16 notes, then you could pick each one of the 4s and do very fast sprints up to the next one. Then the next step is maybe try to play one measure and see, make an assessment if it works. So you could start here and rest there, and maybe there from there you try another group. The important thing is you try to rest somewhere, so that way you distribute the tension within it. It's true that always the hand is going to be aiming this way most of the time, unless when you go down this way. Also, it's important to see the arm movement a little bit, adjusting down, up, always down every 4 notes. Okay, as far as what the movement goes, your hand is always going to be like this. And what you need to do is a point of rest every 4 notes. So rest here, rest here, rest. It's true that sometimes when you work a lot on independence and getting your fingers strength right between these 3 fingers, you hammer too much. So that's why it's important that you practice the etude after you do all this. Very light touch. So you could even play without sound. That means you could play like this, to see what it feels like to play with no effort. So that I have no effort there. Okay. Now I would like to give you the last 3 considerations, and the first one is that your wrist should always go down within the chord. So this chord down and down. Okay, so each time go down on them. Next consideration is to try to play as close to the keys as possible. So when you do the chromatic scale, you play very close to the keys and very light. Almost like if you don't have to raise the fingers at all. Okay, so try to stay very close to the key as much as possible. These 2 fingers relax at all times. So here there should be no tension, and a little bit of tension each finger when you play. And then keep it piano the whole time. So then your hand goes down, up, down, up. Stay with this curve like this, going this way. But it's true that you should get a little bit straight when you play the chord and then change the position. Okay, I hope this video was helpful, and if you enjoyed it, subscribe. Thank you very much.